everyone, here's your favorite artist. In this video you're going to watch me use gouache to paint Bella Hadid. And while I do this, I will talk you through the process of drawing it, but I also wanted to touch upon a topic that I'm going to be talking about now. I think before the Bella Hadid video, or if it's the Bella Hadid video it's too long, then I might put it at the same time. So we are going to get the kind of like the steps or more in depth about the drawing at the end, and I'm going to talk about this topic. The topic I wanted to talk about is that when your life is falling apart, it's actually falling into place. And it's actually so perfect. And it's one of those things that you listen to and it's like, okay, but it doesn't make sense. Like, what do you mean by that? But it's so true. And it's like, imagine you want your dream life. Imagine your dream life. Are the people that are now in your life, in your dream life? And you realize, oh, maybe this friend wouldn't be. No, these people wouldn't be. It would be different type of people that would be in my dream life. And then you have to realize that if you want that dream life, this life has to fall apart. The people that you hang out with, the people that you're with, has to go because those don't fit in with your new life, with your dream life. So you see how, like, when your life falls apart, it's actually falling into place. And every time my life felt like it fell out of place, like I lost people, I lost friendships, and I wasn't gonna see people anymore, and I was starting like a new phase in my life. Every time that happened and it felt like my life was falling apart, it was actually falling into place, falling into a new life, so as to say. And like, yeah, those people had to leave because I was becoming someone new, and those people were part of the old me, but not this new me. You know what I mean? So like, when it's falling out of place and you feel like, oh, but everything is going so wrong, like I've lost friends, my boyfriend broke up with me, we did that, or I lost this, I lost that. It's like, you had to, because you wanted something else, and in order to get that something else, you have to go through that in order to get that. The same way that if a new leaf wants to come out, the old leaf has to fall out. If it doesn't fall out, the new leaf cannot come out. So basically, it really is, when your life is falling apart, it's actually falling into place. So whenever you feel like your life is falling and everything is going wrong, keep that hope up that it's actually going to be better after that. And it always is. Like, it literally always is. And the more I've lived, the more I realized, like, it gets better and it gets better. Like, the first time that this happened and I felt like my life was falling apart, my life got better, and then it fell apart again, and it got even better, and then even better, and even better. So just trust that, and if you're going through a tough time right now, know that.
Going through tough times, believe me, been there, done that.
And you're losing people, and it feels, know that you're stepping into your dream reality, and that's great. So yeah. So this is the second part. I do want to say that I didn't mention in the first part, what about if your life is falling apart but you liked your previous life and it feels like you're losing all the good things. Still, you gotta trust that what's coming is going to be even better, and holding on to a past that it's not there anymore, it's not gonna do you any good. So even if you feel like the life that you've lost was way better, you have to let go of it so that you can enjoy the new life, even if you don't feel like it's as good as it was, because you're making it worse by holding on to the past life that you don't have anymore. As I'm filming this, I'm a bit sick, so if my voice sounds a bit different, that's why. But now I'm going to get into the gouache, the process. So first of all, I sketch with pencil the person that I'm drawing. Then I start by putting layers, thin layers. So first I use gouache almost like watercolor, not really like watercolor. So I do that. I put thin layers of all the colors, and then I start layering it. So basically there's not much more to it than that. It's just layering and layering. And I think the good thing about gouache is that it allows you to, if you've seen that you've made a mistake or you've placed something wrong, you can easily correct it by making more layers and putting a brighter layer over a darker layer. That's why I really enjoy gouache. Because if, for instance, if the eyebrow I've made it too low, I can make it a bit higher by adding the skin color over the bottom of the eyebrow or something like that. And there's not much more that I do. The video is not completely on focus, which is annoying. But I hope you can see still what I'm doing. Now I'm doing like the hair and darkening certain parts. And yeah, it's about layers. It's about keep on putting the things that I think are like I have to add. And it's also about like looking at it. I'm out of breath. Wait, I need to breathe because I can't breathe through my nose. So yeah, like looking at it from time to time and like giving myself time to not look at it and then look at it again and see, oh, this color needs a bit more green, or the eyes are too wide, or there's not enough of this here, or whatever. And that's basically how I use gouache, because as you can see, I have a small palette, and this small palette is from a Hiiii, I think, or Ardex. I prefer Ardex, but I think this is from a Hiiii palette that I've made it smaller because I'm not going to be putting on the Hiiii palette, like taking it out, because it's too big and it's annoying. So I put it in a small container, and that makes it so that my gouache is always dry. I've never had problems with mold, and the times that I've gotten a bit of mold, I just mix it up again with the paint. I don't know if that's correct to do, but because I put it in this small container, it's harder to use as thick gouache. It's a lot easier to use it as more of a watercolor than gouache, but still really like how it looks and still really like how it works, even when it's not so thick as other gouache. And it's harder to layer if you do it with very thick gouache. But it's true that the effect is not perfect when you do thick gouache. It's like almost like acrylic, or like acrylic pens and stuff like that. Like that's the result. And when you don't do it so thick, you can see like different lines and different effects, which might not look the best or might not look perfect. But I do like the aesthetic of it being like a painting and seeing it that it's not perfect, you know, and I'm not trying to make it AI perfect, if you know what I mean. And here you're going to see it done. Voila! So that was everything. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!